Okay, mama, time for a little check-in. Do you ever find yourself feeling constantly exhausted and just drained of energy as a mom of toddler? Yeah, totally, right? We've all been there. Well, in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about bad habits that can drain a mom's energy and leave her feeling exhausted, right? Sometimes I feel that that's the best way to tackle any problem is not what we can add more of, but what can we take away? What's not serving us in our life? I think we all know that taking care of a toddler can be a full-time job. And sometimes it's really easy to accidentally fall into habits that can have a negative impact on our own physical and mental well-being, not to mention our toddler or, of course, the other ones that we love around us, like our husband and our other children. Everything, mama, from just not prioritizing to self-care to trying to just do too much in general. We're going to dive in today and explore some of the common habits that a lot of moms of toddlers may engage in. And I'm going to offer you practical tips for how to break those habits and boost your energy levels. So if you're a mom of a toddler looking for ways to feel one, more energy, and two, refreshed, stay tuned for some helpful insights and advice. I've got you, mama. Let's go for it. Hey, mama. Welcome to the Energized Mama podcast. Do you want a better work-life balance and more time and energy? Do you find yourself thinking, how can I add more hours into the day? Or are you Googling how to deal with mom guilt and can my marriage survive toddlers? Do you wake up with big goals only to feel overwhelmed and defeated when you have no one to help you and your littles aren't listening to you again? Hey, I'm Cheyanne. I too was an exhausted mom away from the help of my family. I too felt constantly drained with a strong-willed toddler and wished I could find balance between being a wife, a mom, stepmom, and entrepreneur. I wanted more energy to give myself and my husband, to discipline my kids confidently, and incorporate faith into our home. All the things, right? But I kept telling myself that I couldn't do it feeling this exhausted and without a community supporting around me. Until I found a healthy balance of endless energy and raising Jesus-loving littles. In this podcast, you will find that too. You will find time and energy boosting tips and tricks, guidance for disciplining your littles, and what to do when you have no help so that you will find balance between all your roles. Stop feeling drained and learn to trust your own mom tuition. Time to grab those headphones, pour that green smoothie, and get ready to get your daily energy boost. I've got you, mama. Exercise is a great way for moms of toddlers to boost their energy levels. Now, notice I didn't say caffeine or that monster drink that you may or may not be chugging right now. Hey, no judgment. We've all been there. But exercise is such a gift, right? God made our bodies the way He did to move and to get these beautiful benefits from movement. Now, whether you and exercise have a happy marriage or not, meaning whether or not you want to puke when you hear of exercise or you want to jump up and down, today my goal is to show you how simple and easy it can be to add movement to your body very quick and very effective ways to boost your productivity and just your overall feeling of energy, mama. I know that keeping up with toddlers is not an easy task, and the less energy you have, the harder it is. So I'm here today to give you my 6 tried and tested tips, not just from my own lifestyle as being a mom of 2 young boys, but also as my experience of losing 100 pounds and having many clients of mine go through the same thing. So I'm about to give you a pull back behind the curtain. I'm about to give you behind the scenes of what I do and what I recommend my clients do. So here we go. We're going to dive into the 6 things today. Pull up a chair. It's the only time I'm going to say go ahead and sit because you most definitely deserve it. And we're going to dive in. So first and foremost, number 1 is cardiovascular exercises. Now, this can look at a huge wide range of things, right? It could be anything from running, cycling, or dancing. It's one of those things, an easy way to think of cardiovascular is what gets your heart pumping, right? That is basically the machine that makes your cardiovascular system go. And it's very important to continue to exercise this part of your body because it's going to increase your heart rate and your blood flow, which ultimately improves your energy levels. So, and again, if this is something that you genuinely makes you like want to vomit, or you're like, oh, I'm allergic, I don't like cardiovascular exercise, just doing something that causes your heart rate to get up, something that makes you feel good in your body, more energized. I mean, ladies, let's keep it real. Sex can even be cardiovascular energized. It just has to be something that makes you feel good, gets your heart rate going, and adds more energy to your day. So I want you to go ahead and brainstorm What could that be? Now, while you take a moment to think about that, we're going to move on to number 2. So on top of your cardiovascular exercise, another great, quick and easy way to boost your energy, boost your productivity is to add strength training into your everyday or every week life. Now, this can look like something as weightlifting, so where you're actually incorporating weights lifting, right? You're actually using the tools, or you can keep it really simple, mama. Sometimes simple is so much better because it means that you're actually going to get it done. So you can just use your body weight, right? Body weight exercises are fantastic. That can be something like squats, planking, push-ups, all that can definitely be strength training. And what's important about strength training exercises, it's not about getting bulky, it's about getting strong. You're going to build that muscle mass and increase overall strength, which ultimately is going to not just improve your energy levels, but also your stamina, which is something we definitely know as a mom of littles, you're going to need for quite a few more years. Now, after we have the first 2, we're kind of building the building blocks here, right? 1 and 2, you got your cardio training, your strength training. Number 3 is one that really has saved me so much in my life, especially since becoming a mom, is yoga. Okay? I feel like yoga is also one of those words that can be really subjective and like, what does that actually mean? I don't know if I like yoga. I used to think yoga, honestly, was going to bore me to death. I was like, man, if I have to hold these poses and I'm just, floating my hands back and forth here and there. And then I started to take yoga back when I was following my acting career in Los Angeles. And I realized, wow, these little thin girls that I see on all these yoga posters and yoga clothing, like legging, labels, they are strong. They are strong in their body, but also in their mind. And that's one benefit of yoga that I couldn't encourage enough for mamas, is because we are constantly pushed to our max, right? We are very often living in a state of stress and just trying to survive the day. Well, a way to help you thrive is to incorporate yoga into your weekly routine, because it will help you, again, combine that physical movement of the actual poses, but also remind you to align with your inner person, right? Your spiritual, your emotional side. It'll pair those things with deep breathing and relaxation, which ultimately can help you reduce that stress and improve energy levels. Now, next, number 4 on the list is also very symbiotic, very, very closely connected to yoga, is Pilates. Now, another word you might have heard of, but have no idea what the heck that means. I know that was me when I first heard of Pilates. Well, a very layman's term to describe what it is it's basically a low impact form of exercise that helps improve your strength, your flexibility, and your balance. Okay, so it's a little bit of everything all together. Pilates itself has a really great focus on your core, which, if you think about how God made your body, the core of your body is literally called that for such a good purpose, because it is the center and it allows the rest of your body to function properly and do the work that it needs to do. So when you do Pilates, having that strength, the flexibility, the balance all come together is a great way to improve your energy levels, because it actually statistically has been shown to help reduce fatigue. And that's something, again, that I know all moms of littles need. Now, the last 2 might just be my favorite, because they're ones that I do basically on an everyday basis, especially right now. As I'm recording this episode, I am almost 35 weeks pregnant. So number 5 tip here today is simply walking. Walking. Yes, it is obviously a low impact exercise. And what's great is it can be done anywhere and at any time. Even just a simple brisk walk outdoors can actually increase your energy levels. And let me tell you, one of the best benefits is that it improves your mood. Just getting outside and getting some steps is a great way to help de-stress, recalculate, kind of like, okay, where am I at? What am I doing with my life? And just give a chance to breathe. I really like walking as well as yoga as a time to just relax, clear my head, and get some movement into my body. I don't know if you guys have ever just during a challenging time of your life just stepped outside or gotten away from your everyday hectic life and just gotten some steps in. You just instantly feel better, right? Like you almost can't explain it, what happened or why, but you just feel better. And that's the magic of walking, is that it's something that you really can do. And you can get yourself something like a heart rate watch. I personally use Fitbit. I've used Apple Watch in the past that can track your steps and also get that brain going and that encouragement going through that little bit of maybe competitive spirit that we want to tap into as a mom. Okay, last but not least, this is energy booster exercise number 6. Emphasize on the quick and effective is HIIT workouts. Okay, I do this almost every single day, and HIIT stands for high intensity interval training, or sometimes, like I like to say, this is going to hit the fat. It's going to smack the fat out of my body, but also smack the negative energy in my body as well. Okay, what this involves with HIIT training is basically short bursts of intense exercise, and perhaps maybe most of your mama's favorite, followed by periods of rest. So this can be done almost anywhere as well. I've been at the park with my son, and almost any modern phone nowadays has a timer on it. You can set your timer for 20, 30 seconds and do something that just involves intense movement. It can be jumping jacks, it can be quick squats, it can be burpees, which I have such a love relationship with them. It could be anything, again, that's going to get your heart rate pumping. But what's great is just at that point when you're probably feeling like, this is enough, I can't take any more. Boom, you're done. And then you follow that by a period of rest. Now, most effective HIIT training, the period of rest is followed by the amount of time that you spent doing the exercise, but no longer. So for instance, if you worked hard for 30 seconds, you want to make sure your break is about 30 seconds or less before you move on to the next one. So if you do this, incorporate this into your everyday, it can look as something as simple as 10 to 15 minutes. You do 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off in 10 minutes. It's amazing how much, not just calories you'll burn, but the negative thoughts that you'll burn in your everyday life. And HIIT training has really been proven to actually increase your metabolism, which is going to help you burn calories and expedite your energy in your everyday life, even when you're not working out. So, hey, it's kind of a win-win situation right there. So I just want to emphasize that with all of these 6 tips, you want to do something that, one, resonates and feels good with you, because you want to choose something you're going to stick with, right? Something that is enjoyable, that's going to ultimately make it sustainable for your lifestyle. Whatever you choose, I really want to encourage you to aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate exercise most days of the week. This doesn't have to be 30 minutes all at once. It can be 10 minutes in the morning, midday, and in the evening. All that's important is that you do it, and you will see, I promise, an improvement in your energy levels and your overall health. Wow, can you believe the summer is over already? When did that happen? I have another question for you. Do you ever wish there was a way to just stop feeling emotionally drained by your life as a mom of littles? Have you wished that you could just have more energy for your husband without constantly feeling physically exhausted at the end of the day? Hey, I know what it feels like to want more than just being a mom from your life. I know what it feels like to be overwhelmed with, well, where do I begin to stop the stress in my everyday life? I know what that feels like to have no idea what healthy habits to implement into my own home that'll actually make a long-term difference. And just feeling totally lost in how to create a realistic and sustainable plan that works for me. I remember often thinking, I just can't be energetic while I parent a household full of littles that demand so much of me all the time. Well, at least one that doesn't rely on coffee for energy or wine to de-stress. Well, now I want you to switch gears and imagine this with me. Imagine if you no longer felt completely exhausted at the end of your day. Imagine if you had the time to go on dates with your husband and you had the energy to give yourself some much needed me time. Imagine if you had easy to implement systems and strategies that would allow you to be that energetic and vibrant mama that you really want to be, all while still raising your kids the exact way you want. That right there is exactly why I created the More Energy Method, a customized blueprint to clear your chaos and bring back more energy into your everyday life. It's where I teach you to decrease stress while increasing your energy. You'll be able to stick with this super simple plan that's tailor-made for you that will establish new healthy habits that'll unlock energy without taking away focus from your kids or require huge commitments of time. You'll walk away with crystal clear clarity of exactly what to focus on, with a plan that'll help you know exactly how to do it, and the confidence as a woman, wife, and mother to make the changes you need to and keep them for good. So mama, if you're ready to stop feeling overwhelmed and exhausted the moment you wake up and instead feel rejuvenated throughout the day and go to bed satisfied, even as a busy mom of littles, then it's time for you to make this step as my 20% off is back just in time for school to start again during the whole month of September. I'm giving mamas an extra 20% off my course and plus 3 bonus trainings. But in order for you to get that, you've got to head over to energyformoms.com to grab your exclusive offer today before it expires on October 1st. It's time, mama, to lose the stress while gaining yourself back and have endless amounts of energy for yourself, your husband, and a life beyond just your littles. Again, mama, I am so proud of you for just being here, being present, and still listening after going through those 5 bad habits, right? I want to help you break free from that burnout, right? And so that you can boost your energy and feel refreshed because you absolutely deserve it. Taking care of yourself is just as important as taking care of your little one. Remember, by prioritizing your own self-care, setting boundaries, asking for help when needed, you're giving yourself the best gift because you're going to boost your energy levels and then be the mom that you actually want to be. So I want to encourage you to please reach out if you have any questions or comments on this episode. If you want to dive in and talk about this deeper, one of the best ways you can do so is by coming on over to Facebook and joining my totally free community group. It's all full of moms of littles that just like you that are struggling with bad habits and trying to figure out, how do I remedy this? How do I fix this? And how do I just right? It's a place and a space where moms, I allow them to just be real, be raw, be vulnerable. And you're going to be surrounded by women who are going through the same thing and are encouraging and loving you and not judging you and making you feel seen and heard and validated. If you want to come join us, come on over, type in any place you can access online, momnationcommunity.com, and it will get you connected to us right away. Again, thank you for listening. I am honored to be here in this space with you. And if this episode blessed you, please go ahead and share it with another mom who needs it, and be accountable to each other. Encourage one another in this, and those bad habits will be turned into good habits for you and your family's health. Have a beautiful and blessed day, and I look forward to joining you on another episode of the Energized Mama podcast.